Hi, Candace.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Little. Hi, Dr. Carpenter. How are you both this morning?
We're very good, thanks.
Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. You know, Dr. Little, let's start with you. With fall upon us, what can we as pet owners do to protect our dogs from Lyme disease?
Well, you know, there's so many things that we can do to keep our dogs safe and healthy, and one key component of protecting from tick-borne diseases like Lyme disease is tick control. So every dog needs to be on a tick control product every month all year long. And then we also have vaccinations that'll protect dogs from specifically Lyme disease.
And Dr. Carpenter, can you tell us about the cat fall parasite forecast for Lyme disease?
You bet. If I could give you 2 bits of information that'll help you. I mean, the first is who is CAPC and why are we doing this? And the most important thing I can tell you is that we're a nonprofit independent group of experts. We're veterinarians, veterinary parasitologists, and we have one goal in mind, and that's to protect people and pets from parasites. So in order to do that, we partnered with Dr. Robert Lund, who's a PhD statistician and a professor at Clemson University, and he worked with our experts, the veterinary parasitologists like Dr. Little, to come up and identify the factors that really show what make parasites active. And with those factors, we put them into a mathematical model and came up with our forecast. It's what you're seeing behind me in these maps, and Dr. Little will give you a broad brush look at what we found.
Well, and what we saw is that by testing millions of dogs all throughout the United States, and veterinarians do that testing and then provide the data back to the researchers, we were able to see that we do have intense focus of Lyme disease bacterial transmission in the northeastern U.S., the upper Midwest, and along the West Coast, as we have for decades. But we're seeing geographic expansion into new areas, and we're seeing more cases, more dogs and people reported, even from the endemic areas.
And what makes certain areas more high risk than others?
Well, you know, it's the weather factors that really contribute, and so we can't really focus it down onto one factor. And the modeling that was done that Dr. Carpenter described imported, you know, a number of different factors that parasitologists and tick experts had identified may be important. But certainly when we have a milder winter, we have more days of tick activity. The adult ticks that transmit Lyme disease to dogs most frequently are active October through March. And so the milder winter allows them to be out and about and to infect dogs. The nymphal ticks that create the largest risk of infection for people, those are the immature ticks, they're active May, June, and July, and so that's when people are at most at risk. But it's all the same tick species, the same bacteria, and the same need for protection.
And your question, that complexity about what regions and why, is why it's so important for pet owners to go on year-round protection, because you just can't keep up with it. If anything, I would say to your pet owners, the one takeaway message is parasites are dynamic and ever-changing, and they're never going to keep up with them, and there's no rule they can follow about when it's safe to go off. So we recommend year-round protection.
And what can we as pet owners do to protect ourselves? Because I know, you know, walking my dog and stuff, it's embarrassing to say I've had ticks myself. So what can we do?
Well, certainly it's recommended to wear protective clothing when you're in a tick-infested area. So tucking your pant legs into your boots, using a repellent, a DEET or permethrin-based repellent is recommended as well. And then tick control, routine use of tick control on your dogs actually does protect you and your family from ticks, because the dogs spend the majority of their time in the area right around the home. The ticks that the dog encounters in that area will be killed by the tick control product, and then that's fewer ticks that are available to attach to you or your family and potentially transmit disease.
Thank you both so much. Do either of you have any additional tips or information you'd like to share?
Yeah, probably the most important thing I would tell to a pet owner is make sure you stay informed. And petsandparasites.org is a website that they can go to and see a prevalence map, click on their state, and then go down to their county level and get monthly updates on what the activity is. Again, all of us are deceived, or sometimes we like to believe that it's not in my area, that these parasites aren't active in their particular area. But if they go to that map, they can find and see that there is parasite activity in their area, and that's why they should go with their local expert, the veterinarian, and figure out a plan of protection. And that's what CAPC recommends, year-round protection.
Well, thank you, Dr. Little. Thank you, Dr. Carpenter. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.